Hello, Dr. Granger and all my cohorts. My name is Jimmy Moberg, and I'm inside sales and a customer service rep for CED in West Palm Beach. Now, I'm going to start you off with an adapted quote from Wayne Gretzky and one of his more memorable ones, and that's, "You miss 100% of the sales that you don't have the product for." Now, my goal here today is to explain to you and convince you that the best way to move forward is to hire a full-time procurement manager. Now, a full-time procurement manager or an agent, just an employee to do that duty, it'll help you in multiple different arenas within CED. The first of which is going to improve your order cycle speed and also your efficiency. It's going to improve and lower your costs of goods sold. And lowering that cost of goods sold is also going to help with your profit margins and boost your sales. I'm going to step through each one of those and give you a little bit of reason and what for to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to get across to you. Now, the order cycle speed, what that refers to is how long it takes for a procurement manager, say I'm the procurement manager, to get my order put together, sent off to the vendor, for the vendor to pull it, ship it, for us to get it, receive it, and then also be able to sell it to someone. Now, the shorter that time frame is, the quicker we can get it out to one of our customers that's looking for it. Now, the more efficient we can get it also, it's going to improve everything top to bottom. Now, the best way the procurement manager affects that is by taking multiple orders, combining them, and sending them off to one vendor. Instead of taking 2-3 orders, sending them off to one guy here and another one over there, you put it all together, you put it to one vendor, you wait on one shipping time, you've got one tracking number, everything is streamlined and works so much cleaner. Also, the procurement manager has the chance to check and balance. Well, it streamlines the check and balances within CED. And what that means is when that one order goes out and the shipment comes in, if there's something wrong on it, the person who's checking it in comes immediately to me to figure out if it was our fault or it was the vendor's fault, or maybe it was the shipping company's fault. But either way, we can diagnose where the issue is and get it solved and get it fixed. Now, once we get those checks and balances, we figure out who made the mistake. It gives us the chance to evaluate our vendors on a deeper scale and put dollar figures and numbers to what's going on, how well they're doing, how close they're sticking to the terms that we've negotiated, or the shipping priorities that we've mentioned. All those go together to help improve our order cycle speed and our efficiency. Now, the quicker we can get our product in and out, the more efficient we can, brings us to our next step, our cost of goods sold. Our procurement manager is going to affect our cost of goods sold in numerous different ways. The most obvious of which is once we are done evaluating those vendors, we can compare and analyze them against each other. I can take vendor A, who sells me a majority of one product, and vendor B that sells me a majority of that product with a little bit of something else. I can compare how quickly they get the product to us, on what terms, financially, and then shipping methods and whatnot too. We compare those and put them together, and we figure out who we want to do more business with. Now, once we figure all those out, we also get the chance to start developing our vendor relationships. Vendor A does so much better, so we're going to do most of our business with them. So once we figure that out and we realize they're our main vendor, we tell them we can negotiate better terms. Because when it comes to vendor relationships with a warehouse, we want to help each other out. We're doing business with them, which improves their bottom line. And the more business we do with them, the more they're going to want to do cheaper business with us, cut us better deals, make better discounts on items so that we have a better bottom line. And that's what this entire industry is all about. the distribution industry, it's all about helping each other clear a bigger profit on every transaction you're doing. Now, the last way that we can do that, once we get all those put together, it's comparing wrong and duplicate orders, inefficient and insufficient orders, making sure that when we put one order out, we don't have to put another one out to correct it. Or like what happened in the last year, at least 4 different times, putting this almost the same identical order out and carrying twice as much as what you need in your warehouse. Now, the more we can get rid of all of those by developing our relationships and having those checks and balances within our company, the lower our cost of goods sold is. Now, as we bring that cost of goods sold down further and further, it always helps that bottom line, that profit number, and we are, CED is a profit share company. That means at the end of the year, any profits we have left over are split up amongst the employees and we get bonus checks. Now, everyone wants to see that lovely big bonus check. I got to see one in the 2.5 years that I was there. That's not a good way to run a business. Now, the procurement manager is going to affect that profit margin, that bottom line, and the sales in a good way by using those vendor relations to help us reduce our investment costs. Now, our investment cost is in our inventory. And the way CED runs, we like to keep 3 months worth of inventory on hand, just 3. If you're holding it for longer than 3 months, you're paying out more than you're going to get in to house that product on the shelves, the energy for your rent, or the energy for your business, and all your other utilities to make your company run. Those are all those bottom line and fixed costs. Now, the more we can streamline everything else, we know exactly what we need to have on shelf, how much we need to have it, and how soon we need to reorder it, so we can have a more tighter packed place that's used to a better efficient standard. And a smaller place usually means a smaller rent, usually means better utilities. Now, all that together lowers those fixed costs even more. Lower fixed costs, higher or lower cost of goods sales. As a business student, we all know that means higher profit margins. That means more money coming in than's going out. That's always a good thing. Now, the last thing that the procurement manager works with the branch manager on is a figure called the lost sales multiplier. Now, that figure is used in conjunction with customers, volumes, and numbers that they're dealing to determine what we need to keep on shelves and what not to keep, and how that might affect our sales and our customers' happiness in making our decisions on what we're keeping, what we're going to bring in. Now, without a procurement manager, that just goes as another randomized figure that kind of goes into the manager's calculations, and instead of doing that, it gets broken out and it gets put to a bigger magnifying glass on and tweaked to a finer tune so that it's all runs smoother. Now, like I said, that was from Roche in 2014, and that's a huge factor in the inventory business and distribution business, in keeping all your bottom lines as low as you can, so that way every dollar coming in, you're getting to keep a higher percentage of it. Now, counters and rebuttals, the only counter arguments I really ran into is the increased cost of moving an employee from part-time or even full-time to a salaried position and the benefits that are associated with it. Now, that cost is almost completely offset by not having to pay him overtime anymore because he's a salaried position, and then by all the reduction in costs and the cost of goods and the fixed costs that go into what is his job, you end up coming out positive on all that. You end up bringing in more money than you're going to end up paying that one person. And the other one I ran into is company policy, saying that CED supposedly just doesn't have only one person in charge of doing most of the stock ordering. Now, in my time working with some of the other branches, I can say that's just inherently false. In at least 3 or 4 of the other branches, there was one person mainly in charge of doing all the inventory ordering, except for maybe one of the one-offs here or there, and then managers that did the big money items. Other than that, you have one person doing it. And the fact that we aren't turning a profit means that we need to change something because it's obviously not working. Now, all that brings us back to that call to action again. Okay, I need you guys here today to vote on and enact, or at least decide to hire someone, whether it's within our store already or whether it's going outside with a recruiter, to find someone that can come in and be that one person that does most of our work. Now, it'll help bottom lines, like I said, and it'll bring in higher sales numbers, it'll bring in higher profits. Bigger profits means happier employees, happier managers, happier vendors too, because they're getting more money. Now I'm going to close it out today with a quote from Ronald Heifetz, and that's, "Yesterday's adaptations are today's routines." So let's make this adaptation today so that tomorrow it's routine and we can start addressing any other issues that we might run into. Thank you.